All right, Ben. So next up, we have another announcement relative to Colin Kaepernick. Um, he signed one agreement to do some video type, multimedia type stuff, and then he signed another agreement with Disney. He also has I think, a five-part documentary that's coming out. Someone else is doing that on his life. Um, so, as far as we're concerned, all of these accolades and all of this recognition, he's well deserved, no doubt about it. But the question is, what effect will it have on the comeback? Because now people are actually talking about a comeback. You know what I mean? It's like, really? Um, so what do you got? What do you got here?
All I got is, once again, the question is, does he really want to play? First of all those workout videos we used to see, they kind of stopped. Unless I'm missing something. I'm not on his Instagram, so I don't know what he's putting out there lately, but I haven't seen anything. Um, there was a lot of talk about, well, there was talk from particular teams as far as coaches saying, I wouldn't mind bringing him in for a workout. I don't have anything against bringing him in for a workout. We might bring him in for a workout, but still nothing really definitive. Not even news of any real talks or anything. And I don't know if that's on his part or if they just talked about it team wise or organization wise and never actually reached out to him. So we're kind of at a standstill right now as far as the comeback is concerned. But I'm pretty sure, or I'm hopefully, let me say I'm hopeful that these contracts he's signing to do documentaries and shows and lend his time and expertise to these other ventures that he's getting into. I hope that somewhere in the clause, somewhere in these contracts, he's laid out some clauses that, hey, if I get a call from an NFL team and I get a contract, then I'm going to be balling. So we're going to have to, schedule my other things around that. I would hate for somebody to actually call him in for a tryout and say, hey, yeah, let's talk contract. And he say, well, I can't because I got to make a video. I mean, I thought he wanted to play football. So we'll see.
Well, okay, yeah, we will see. I did not think he wanted to play football. I haven't thought that in a while, because he could have played football. There's a lot of football playing going on in the world if you just want to play the game. And like I said, you guys play, you don't get paid for it. It's just an insane drive to play the game. And so, I always thought he should have went to Canada. Go up there, become a star. Show them what they're missing. You know, run around,
Warren
do your
Moon did it.
Canada thing.
Warren Moon did it.
Warren Moon did it. And then came back. And because it's about football, and my thing is the concentration level that it takes to be a quarterback. We're not just talking about a D back or somebody that where you could just say just rush the quarterback. you know.
No, it's yeah. I don't know how much people out there watch Canadian football, but when the games are on, you should watch them. First of all, they're very exciting. Second of all, some of the rules are just a little bit different, just enough to make it interesting. The gigantic end zones, I love that. I think that's crazy. You know what I mean? But it's professional football. If you go man for man down the roster, the skill levels might not quite be exactly the same as your basic NFL roster, but it's pretty good. It's better than the XFL, that's for sure. And just like we're saying it can make you, it can break you too. Johnny Manziel was a #1 draft pick. You can say what you want about him and how he treated his life and his career. He went up there and he was a total failure. He couldn't hang. Now people say, well, he was probably up there drinking and running around, and he probably doomed his own self. If he was that doggone good, he'd have made a little bit of noise. He made zero noise.
Yeah, I mean, guys hang out, they party, they do all of that stuff, and they show up. And Lawrence Taylor did it.
And they still ball out, right? Either you got it or you don't. Either you got it or you don't. And let's face it, he didn't go up there because he's like, I like living in Canada. He went up there to try to rebuild his career so he could get back in the NFL. And he couldn't do it. So again, like you said, if Kaepernick was serious about playing and didn't want to waste, I shouldn't use the word waste because a lot went on with him in the last few years, but give up chances or opportunities to get back into the game and back into the NFL as quickly as possible, I agree with you. That should have been the route. And he chose not
mad. I wouldn't be mad at him for saying, just like many of the athletes who have taken on the cause and they're like, I'm not playing this year because I'm with the cause. If that's where you stand, awesome. He won't say that though. He keeps kind of leaving it out there.
Well, it won't have the same impact. It won't have the same impact as a Maya Moore, who was at the top of her game and making as much money as a WNBA player can make, and just saying, I got to stop because I want to devote all my time to getting this man out of prison who's in there unjustly and grinding for this dude for a couple of years and getting him out.
Yeah, that was amazing.
You want to talk about Black Lives Matter? Yo, she went all in. That's real right there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So but it would just remove that conversation.
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean? It's like, now is the NFL, are they still blackballing you? Because once it goes from they're blackballing you to, everybody's saying, okay, come on, and then you don't do anything.
Right.
Now it's like, were you really ever serious in the first place?
And if you really gonna do it, now is the time to do it. I mean, even the goofball in the White House said, oh yeah, he should be allowed if he's good enough. As soon as I heard that, I'd be like, yo, agent, get on the phone. Get me in a camp. But see, again, with the pandemic, it's not as easy, but still, I'd be like.
That's like the ultimate challenge, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Get me in a camp. I'm taking somebody's job.
Man, just make a team. I just want to see him make a team. Just make the team. He can't be any worse than a backup.
No doubt.
He's far better than most of the backups in the league, and he's far better than some of the starters.
Well, at least he was, and the question is, again, as long as he can focus on what he needs to focus on the football field as the leader of the team, as the guy who's out there executing the plays, who's reading the defenses, who's not throwing your receiver into a zone where he's getting blasted.
Well, I mean, it's going to take work
or anything like that. That's what I'm talking about.
He would have to put in a lot of work to get, because he wasn't perfect. When he was good, he wasn't perfect.
Right.
I know nobody's perfect, but I mean, even when he was good and he was a threat, and he took his team to the Super Bowl, he still had a lot of stuff to work on, and we were looking forward to his career progressing. And how good can this guy get? You know what I mean? He was Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson, and we were all going like, oh, I can't wait till next year. So it would require some work. But again, the question is, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to put in the work that it's going to take to make you a viable quarterback option for an NFL team? Because if you're a backup, you got to be a viable option that's ready to go at all times.
Market realities in the NFL are stark right now. in that you've got one MVP quarterback who just signed a 10-year deal. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. That looks to be worth $500 million. And another MVP quarterback who fundamentally signed for the minimum with an incentive-laden contract. And so the one who signed for the minimum, we're going to talk about him also, but that's your range as far as Kaepernick's type of contract. You know, the question was he willing to come in as a backup? He told the AFFLs, I think it was AFL, whatever, when they offered, you know, or they invited him in, that he wanted $20 million when they were paying pretty much a flat salary of $200,000 to everybody in the league. So,
and he knew that.
And he knew that. So if you say,
so instead of just saying no,
right, exactly. So that made it a question mark there. So would he be willing to come in and be a backup, a second or a third stringer on any particular NFL team? You know, how would he handle that? You know, Cam is struggling with that. We'll talk a little bit about that because he's Cam, you know, and you're not supposed to just go in and be satisfied, you know, to be a backup. Absolutely. That's always supposed to be a competitive situation. So, you know, that's what we would expect. Okay, yeah, you're going to come in, but they're supposed to feel that heat coming from you, you know, in practice, you know, and everything. So, okay, all right, enough of that for right now.